Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Pastor Kim's Corner. My name is Pastor Kim, and I'm also a high school math teacher. The world has gone digital, okay? Everything is remote. Those are the key words: remote, virtual. That's what we're hearing from day to day because students are now learning at how that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight, sort of a digital learning 101. What will digital learning look if you have any children, nieces, nephews, little cousins, teenage cousins, get their moms on and so that we can have a brief discussion on what digital learning is going to look like because we're going digital from this point on. Okay, so a lot of people think that, and I'm share myself out. A lot of people think that going digital right now means it's just a temporary situation. But I do want to let you know that, first of all, going online learning is not anything new. It's just being brought to the surface. Okay, online learning has been around for a while. It's been among homeschoolers, people who homeschool their children. There are programs online where they can hear and get different subjects and topics, and even meet at different places depending on the locality for different events. So it's not anything new, guys. But boy, oh boy, it's growing, it's grown exponentially. Okay? It has just grown exponentially. And so, eventually, what I would like to do as I share myself out, eventually, what I would like to do is um, create a separate channel from Pastor Kim to talk continually about online learning because, like I said, it's not going anywhere. I think that because we're in a pandemic, that once the pandemic is lifted or the virus goes away or they find a vaccination, online learning virtual academies will disappear. I promise you they will not disappear. Some people are comfortable with their children being home. Some teens are more comfortable being home and learning virtually. You'll be surprised. This sending something out again. Give me one more second because I'm excited and I'm going in. Okay, second here. So I'm talking about online learning. My apologies. So when we talk about online learning, we think of it as something completely new, and it really isn't. It's been around for a while. It has been around for a while. Like I said, people who homeschool their children, there are schools, virtual schools online where they can log on videos about different, all the different subjects that they have to take. So it definitely isn't anything new. It's just, as I previously stated, it's growing exponentially. All of a sudden, the world has to go to school online, the majority of the world, and particularly his, until we can get this situation under control. But even after we do get the situation, people will still be accustomed to and interested in going to school online. That's elementary and high school. They will be more accustomed and more comfortable than ever before, even though it is an uncomfortability. Now, for our school, they had the option. Students had the option. Students and their parents had an option of just doing learning or what was called doing a virtual academy. Again, some other districts all over the United States, this policy in place even before we were forced into this situation. Hey, bless row, God bless, and hello to those of you in the balcony. I'm talking about online learning tonight, digital learning, virtual learning, remote learning. Those are all the ones that we hear. So again, excuse me, people have been doing this, so they will continue to do it. And again, people, I forgot what I was going to say previously, but people have been feeling more comfortable about doing the online learning. It's just, it's not going to go away once we start. Thank you so much. I was talking about the school had the option. Yes. So Blessed Rose said her school had the same option. So the option of a virtual academy, which has been going on. I know I had talked to Leilani, and her school already had that. Hey, AKA, God bless you, welcome. And so by her, by the virtual academy is this kids can go to school online no matter what all year long. The pandemic is lifted, the top of 2021, and we go back to remote learning and kids are able to go back to school. If a student has chosen virtual academy, then they will be able to stay home because that's what they chose. So basically they will stay home all year. And so that's the option that's on the table for my school district. And I believe for the state of North Carolina, that you can either go virtual or you can just go remote, meaning again, if the schools open back up, then you can go back in some element of social distancing. So this is why I know. Which one did you sign up for, Bless, the virtual or the remote? This is why I know it's going to be for a while because, again, okay, you signed up for the virtual, so he'll be home all the time because people are comfortable. I talked to some of my students from last year, and they were not ready to come back to school previously. While we were going through that from March, weren't ready. They were afraid, and there was a lot to be afraid of. So I was a little apprehensive. Some people were saying, okay, well, it's not safe for the kids, but it's safe for the teachers, because we had for the first 2 weeks. But my particular school, it was in the news. We had some a staff member exposed, or I don't know if they acquired it or been exposed to COVID-19 some kind of way. But we got a few people that were out right when school started, staff, for teachers and staff. Because remember, and I know I'm kind of all over the place, but remember, prior to the pandemic, come back about a week or two before school started, because they would be setting up their classrooms, getting material, going to professional developments, all that kind of stuff. So even though we're in the midst of the pandemic, we still had to do that. We had 2 weeks ahead of time, and everything, of course, was virtual. There have been Zoom meetings, videos, videos, breakout groups, videos. I mean, there are so many videos to watch, guys, until October to finish watching all the videos that we have to watch. There are a lot of videos to watch. So, we are still virtually getting ready. And even for my school, because every principal is different, even for my school, our principal has required that, because we're working from home, that we have a background green screen like I do, but we have a background that is conducive to a school environment. So in other words, people have some type of little mini classroom studio in their home that, gives the student that they are in a learning environment, not just sitting at the breakfast table or sitting in the kitchen or in front of the TV. That so there's got to be some type of academic environment, even for virtual. So, I have a green screen, so I just took pictures off of our website and put them behind me, you know, as I prepare for. And so, what I wanted to talk about again tonight is what will digital learning look like, and what should it look like? At some point, I will veer off and create a channel specifically for this, because this is going to be ongoing. And just a few things that I wanted to talk about tonight, if you would allow me to. And again, that academy going to look like. And bless the road, you made me think about the Montessori program. I told you that my daughter is a principal of Montessori school. And so, of course, when I finished talking to you, I called her and said, what's up? Like, there's no way to be able to teach in the Montessori format virtually. It's just literally impossible. And she was calling all the big dogs, trying to figure it out, bringing people together. But I just don't see how that's possible. Me would literally turn the parent into the teacher. And so I'm so interested in knowing what's going to happen with that. How are they going to address that? They probably won't say anything, but you probably won't be doing the Montessori program. You will not be doing that. You'll just be doing something else, but they probably won't say. So I definitely will keep in contact with you to find out. So the first question that I have, and I would love for you to participate, I'm trying to get one of my friends, she also is a teacher, to come up on the panel. And if anybody wanted to come up, that's fine too. But to come up on the panel to just talk about things. The question I had is, should teachers go live daily? Daily. In terms of a virtual classroom, should teachers, that's the question. Do you think teachers live every single day? Or can they make videos to take the place of going live? Things about that, and how do you think that looks? And I think it's different for all levels, elementary, high school, be different for all levels. But that's the question on the floor. Should teachers go live every day? Again, I can only tell you about my experience. For my school, because I don't even know as far as the district requiring us to go live every day, and neither is my school. It's not requiring us to go live every, but it is asking us to make ourselves available to the students in some form, whether it's for tutoring, questions and Q&A, to make ourselves readily available, I guess, during that time frame. So classes are broken up into, it depends on the age of the students. I agree. My class are broken up into 75-minute blocks. So I have three classes, 4 75-minute blocks. One of those is my prep time. So in 5 minutes, the question is, would I go live every day in that 75-minute time frame? And, let's say 8 to 3:30. Yes, Bless Rose asking a great question. When I don't go live, what will the students do? So initially, when we started this in March, oh, you got a lot of questions. Oh, that's good. I love it. When we started this in March, excuse me, the students were asked, AKA required, to come to class, okay? But when we started for my district and for my school, we only go live once a week for 3 hours. And we weren't required to go once a week for 3 hours, available once a week for 3 hours. Now, some teachers kept their students in 3 hours, okay? Which I personally thought was torture. So, if they had, they have this, they would be in, one class a day for a certain amount of time. I did not keep my students in class for 3 hours. What I did was I did a live every Monday. My day was Monday. And I encouraged students to come in. And I put the work up. And so what I said to them was, if you don't come in at 7, but you do my work, day is over, then I will count that as attendance. I use Khan Academy a lot. I put up Khan videos, and I use some other apps. I have another live that I showed. I'm going to turn that into a video as well, where I showed the difference that you could use. But some kids still couldn't get it. So I met with them, one-on-one, or they came back so I explained, how to do it using paper and pencil. And so, having to share my screen and such. So I did that. I didn't make it a burden on them because it was a lot going on. It was a lot for all of us to absorb. And I didn't want them to feel frustrated having to log on every day. So again, for me, I didn't stay on for that 3-hour period. And if they had any questions, then I would explain the questions. And some of them did the work and they didn't need me. Okay. So what was your other question? Oh yeah, how often do they attend class? So that was how they attended class initially. So when I pretty much said, now this is some of the conflicts that we had, because when I said, okay, you don't have to come to my class. If you do the work before that day, if you get to the work that day, then don't worry about it. That's attendance because you did my work. While some other teachers were requiring to class, so it felt like it was a little bit, there was not enough unity. But I felt like that I went 3 hours, sit, just, and some people weren't doing anything. Some people were requiring reading, they were our time. And I just couldn't do that. If you need me, I'm here. What I did do, which wasn't required, is so I knew that they had other classes and other 3-hour time slots on other days. So I Zoomed at different days so that they could catch me anytime during that school time window if they had. Also left my phone number available, also left my email available. Some people were skeptical about phone numbers. It's kids, whatever. So that's how I did that. So now they've changed it to, they're treating it like regular class blocks, 75, being there for the entire 75 minutes. No, I will not. Initially, I will walk them through and I will be in the minutes for probably the first 3 to 4 days. And even if I'm not talking, I will be available. So if they need them, if they don't, they can just do the work. And if they have a question, they can ask. But initially, I'll be walking them through. So they will definitely need me for that first week or two. And of course, if I'm introducing some new content, I'm definitely going to go over that with them piece by piece. So I will be more time than previously. Okay, I hope I answered that question, Bless Rove, how often they attend class. So yeah, and I have a first block, second block planning, I have a third block and a fourth block, and they're all 75 minutes. I wanted to ask too, that's part of my other, I'm waiting till I get to that part. So again, should teachers go live daily? We're not required. And your other question, what will they be doing? Since we're working with Canvas, and I don't know how familiar, people are with Canvas. I don't know if South Carolina is. Since we're working with Canvas, we can sort of line up everything that has to be done. And I'm going to tell you something. My school district, who I have not always been crazy about, has rolled out the red carpet. They have rolled out the red carpet when it comes to this virtual learning. They like, we're on top of this. And I'm so about it. I really am. They have created an entire curriculum for Math 1. It used to be algebra, used to be Common Core Math 1. Now it's just Math 1. And North Carolina is one of the states have a curriculum for English, science, and math. Okay. North Carolina. They call curriculum for English, science, and math. And what do you mean by that? I mean, there's no book. There's no, they give you the standards, but you pretty much have to go out there and grab it. Okay. The standard is they must learn, they must know business how to do it. And you pretty much go grab what you want to teach slow. So prior to this, they had, but shout out to the head of the math department of the district, whom I know. She did a phenomenal job thing out course by course, play by play. She's not finished with every course, but for the math department, she started with ever so grateful. I can add things to it, but they are so I don't even want to use the word worried to run so well, because I was talking to her just the other day and I was like, I think I want to tweak this a little bit because I don't like some, I'm going to pull some out and, make it my own. And she was like, no, 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 no. We want everybody to be on the same page. She was like, if you don't like the question, just tell them you don't have to do question 5 or you don't have to do question 7, but don't tweak it. I was like, okay, fine. You know, that's nice. So they have really rolled out the red carpet, which makes life so much easier. And has that been done for every subject? I can't say that, but I know that they're working on it diligently, which makes it easy. So for me, I said that to answer this question, that when they're not, if I'm not, they have activities. They have a warm up. They have, sometimes it's called a warm up. Sometimes it may be called a do. They have an introductory activity. I mean, they have everything. They have a hook. They have the independent work. They have the guided activity. So for the guided activities, the teacher is guiding them through. So I would have to be somewhere in the vicinity, on, just available again on live. Y'all, when I start talking about education, that's as bad as me preaching. Let me see your next question, Bless Row. After the verdict, you're going to still teach the students online as well as the ones in person? That's an excellent question. question. That is a. I'm gonna tell you what the setup is there. So the setup is CMS is not requiring us. Of course, we're learning remotely. We're teaching remotely. So we are teaching from home. But get this, you want to go in your classroom and teach remotely rather than doing it from home. You can be in your classroom every day teaching using the Promethean board, using all the standing in the middle or the front of your classroom with the video camera from your laptop on phone, and you can teach from your classroom every single day for the virtual academy. So my principal, I can't say everybody, my principal has really been sort of easing that option in, like if you want to come in every day, just let me know. If somebody asks, well, what if we come in for a couple of days? She was like, well, yeah, I just need consistency. So she is making flexible for people to do, and that is why. Hey, I'm glad you're here. That's why she's because if and when it's lifted and kids have to come back to school, people who are teaching can teach, who have been teaching in school can just they can just keep right where they are for those kids who are coming to school. Now, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen when, if and when that happens, when the kids are, if the kids came back, I'm trying to say is like, I'm the only Math 1 teacher, okay? So I'm on full virtual learning, full virtual teaching, okay? Just came back, like, I guess I would have to go back because that would mean the pandemic was lifted, everything was have to go back. Or what would happen, like you say, would I still be videotaping myself and teaching live in the class for those virtual academy all day? Excellent question, Bless Bro. And I've thought about it, and I was saying, like, that's probably, if you want to stay in your empty classroom, you can, just in case some students show up, maybe next semester. I don't know. Like, really, really weird and really awkward if we have to turn the camera on and teach to the virtual academy as well as the students who chose the remote. That's going to be double teaching because now in the video camera on at the same time. Ferguson, I'm definitely going to get you in here. This is my other teacher, Freya. Yes. That's what I said. It was a mess. The kids just did worksheet packets and dropped them off once a month. Yeah. I don't know what's worse, watching videos all day or doing the worksheets. Because let me tell you, like I said, we have to watch a lot of videos. I mean, it's just that's just the way. Have this situation going on where we cannot go into workshops and stuff, know, it was exciting to be there, but watching all of these videos, I mean, I was just like, I feel bad for the kids because they have to watch videos every single day for 6 hours because I'm watching the videos that are required and I'm like this. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm dying watching, some of the videos that were required. And there are a lot of videos. Drop the link. I was just talking about that. I was just, yeah, talking about that. And I definitely want to hear what you have to say because I said some people are not, some people are going to be virtual. So I'm still trying to figure that out. What's going to happen? So I'll be interested to know what you say to that. Yeah, and it's going to be, listen, but it's going to be an additional mess if people just make videos and don't show up. Don't make them, parents are going to be feeling like they're teaching. This is a higher level of accountability and a higher level, the pandemic. It's causing us to have a higher level of accountability and a higher level when it comes to teaching, because a lot of parents have felt like they were teaching because they had no help. Hey sis, how are you? How are you? How are you? Thank you
Okay.
so much for joining me.
I,
Girl,
I look
girl,
like
girl.
yesterday. I just got off work, but I'm here.
Go ahead.
I said I look like yesterday.
Oh
I
no,
just got
that's
off work.
fine. That's fine. Bless you. So listen, what's your take on that question of what's going to happen for if students have to go back to school? The people who chose remote learning will go back to school if the pandemic is lifted. Virtual, they'll
For
stay home.
me,
What happens with the teacher? Where does that go?
I think for me, I'm still going to run it virtually. My school's requiring 60
Go
minutes
ahead.
of my school is requiring 60 minutes of live teaching per class every day. So I'm going to still run it the same way I was running it from home. I'm going to kind of like Zoom it, and because we're a one-to-one school. So I'm going to still run it the way I was running it from my house, and I'll have them. We'll do the videos together, or I'll do live teaching together, and then they'll do their activities. But all their activities will still be online, so we can limit movement. Because even if when we go back, I feel like there'll still be a chance. So I'm going to limit all chances. You're going to stay in your seats and do these activities virtually. What about you? I think I came in on
Okay,
the
but then
probably.
you will have to go back to the classroom and still do everything.
Hmm.
Well, I was trying to figure that, like I can't figure out how, because you got all kind of laws involved there as videotaping children, you know what I mean? It's a difference from us being
I
virtual
think I'm.
and everybody being on Zoom. Go ahead.
I think for me, I'm going to put the camera a little closer, like have the camera up by me, so the people who are at home would only be seeing like my live teaching. I won't have the video. For me, I personally, and I get what you're saying, so I think I'll try to like like the selfie stick, where the camera is like closer to you than it is to anybody else. And we also have that technology where the
Yes.
camera can follow you.
Yes.
So I'll try to do maybe some of that technology where the camera follows me. But like you said, I'll have to be
Oh,
careful to stay
cool.
in my box in the front. Like, definitely gonna let the
That's why I want
technology.
I've been trying to get my docucam,
Hmm.
because with I don't have to worry about writing up. You know what I mean? With the docucam, I can write on the table, to get my docucam, and then I could still use that if I had to go back in the classroom, because you can use it, and this goes out to the Promethean. So let's see. Any no more questions? So that was my first. I had five things that I wanted to talk about. So the first one was daily, and I was saying even if they don't go live daily, they should be readily available. They may not be talking while they're live, but if there are activities and things to do, and the kids may not understand, and they still should be available to facilitate the class. Even live daily for me is almost like just doing stand up instruction. You know what I mean? That's no better than just standing up and talking for 60 minutes. You know? Hey, Sister Fifi, God bless you. Thank you for coming in. I didn't know if you wanted to say anything else.
I think for
So,
me,
okay, number two. Go.
Oh, live instruction for me, even though I'm going to be live for 60 minutes, I'm not going to talk for 60 minutes. I'm going to do the same thing that we would do in a regular class where I'll probably give about 15 minutes of, hey, watch me work. That's my phrase, watch me work. And then they'll have some guided, like I got them through some stuff, and then they'll have independent practice. Their whole class period is 60 minutes. So I won't talk for less than a quarter of the time. So about 15 minutes is, hey, watch me work. Let me do some problems with you. Now you do your own stuff. But they have to stay on Zoom with us because that's my school policy. So they have to stay on Zoom with us even while they're working. So they'll just kind of like independently work, and I'm kind of like glazing over to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Wow. Okay. Prior to Zoom the whole time, but we are required to check this out. We are required to record everything, and we're required to provide multiple platforms for them to view it.
Girl, you should stream it to YouTube,
Did you
or
say?
stream it to YouTube, or stream it to like Facebook. Like get a that I would do it all at one time. Like let my Zoom be streamed to YouTube. So that's two of them right there. And then maybe stream it to Instagram if you have a teacher Instagram. So I would just stream it. Hey, y'all about to get all these streams at one time.
Well, I'm doing Canvas and I'm doing YouTube. I'm definitely doing YouTube. Definitely doing YouTube. Okay, so the next part is go ahead.
Mm-mm.
So part is, what will attendance look like? What will attendance look like? I know it's about a 5-second delay. That's why. So for us, and this is something new for us because it's virtual, attendance will not weigh. Woo, girl, my brain. So attendance, they have 24 hours to show up to your class.
That's
Yes, they
also
have
true for us.
24 hours to show up. So if they don't, if they don't show up for the live and they do the work later on, then that's counted as attendance, which is actually what I did previously. The only catch is, and we're still contemplating, trying to figure it out, catch is they have to have had a hardship as to why they did not attend the actual class at the class for attendance purposes. Because we do have to take attendance. So in order for us to take attendance, I'm gonna have to be in Zoom every day. So for example, the hardships can be like Wi-Fi wasn't working, babysit, a caregiver had to go to work. These are for the students. Remember, I'm teaching high school, so these are the hardships for the students. Parents submit an email, a text, a phone call, and say, our Wi-Fi wasn't, Johnny didn't jump in the live, but he did the work. Then we have to accept that as an attendance. So right now we're going through the question of, do they have to have a hardship or not? And we were having a really heated discussion about it today in a breakout session. And my thought was, why be bothered with the hardship? People still refuse to believe how smart are. Go.
I was gonna say I was gonna say something to the same nature. Our school is not doing the hardship requirement because we were saying that some kids are going to be able to get the material without coming to the live. And yes, we would like them to come to the live, but if you're a math kid, some math things you're just gonna get. And so we're gonna encourage them to come to class. But I also talk to them about let's not punish poverty, because some of these parents are not going to get off till after a certain time. You need your mama's hotspot, whatever it is you need. Let's not punish poverty. Like we are a school, or at-risk school, so we don't want to punish something that you can't help. I teach middle school, so you might need your mama's phone, or you need your mama's assistance to go on the computer. So instead of your mom having to tell me every day about her personal business as to why you didn't get on, if you're able to complete the work in a timely manner, then we're going to just say you're here, because we don't want you to be punished because you're a child. You don't make adult decisions.
Oh, listen, that back to the next meeting I have. I'm taking that back. That's a good one. I love your thought process. That's a good one. I'm taking it to the bank with me. I'm taking it with me. Ain't nobody got time. Because we still document what the hardship is. And I'm like, look, these are high school kids, 14, 15. They're gonna be like, Mom, can you text the school? They're gonna be overslept and be like, Mom, can you text my teacher and tell her that the Wi-Fi wasn't working? Because I did the work. I just I don't have time to keep writing up a form, another Google Doc as to why you didn't show up this morning. Let's not play with that. But that was what you said. Let's not punish poverty. I like that, Okay. So point number 3, students be subject to online videos. Oh, how long subject to online videos? I know. Listen. We need this whole. They don't realize it, but they need Canvas experts, technology experts. They need troubleshooters. They need spies. You know what I mean? To infiltrate to see what's going on in these virtual. Promise you, some teachers are going to be putting up 30-minute videos. None of my videos, and even when I choose Khan Academy videos, they're never, ever long, ever long. I watched a video today, and Lord knows I don't want to get fired. I ain't going to say no names. I watched a video today. It was nothing but PowerPoint and talking for over 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, you killing me. PowerPoint and talking?
Can't.
I might take that part out, but go ahead.
No, one of the things that I wanted to say is my school is, because we're a charter, we're like unto ourselves. But one of the things that I do love is we're not allowed to do videos. We have to do some form of live instruction every day, because we are big on building relationships. So you have to personally teach the content, because you and I know that students, when they love you, even if they're not mathematically sound, they'll give me more because they love me. So I think building those relationships is going to be through actual live teaching, because when you you can't build a relationship with videos, because the kids will be, I'm bored with the content, the teacher don't care enough to teach it to me, I don't care enough to learn it. So we're definitely going to really focus on, even if I'm not introducing nothing new, I'm still gonna pop on. Hey guys, you do my whole little rigmarole. Hey guys, how y'all doing? I want you to do these activities today, and I'm gonna be sitting here on the Zoom watching you, so you can talk back and forth to me. So it helps to build relationship building, because videos, that training, like you said, we've been in training all week, and this is my second week of training. So we've been in training for 2 weeks, and when somebody reads me a PowerPoint or leaves me with a video and in training, I tune out, and I'm a grown up, so I know the kids gonna tune out.
Mm-hmm. Again, I like what you said about building those relationships, and even for parents who come back and watch this, note to parents, if your child is getting online, I don't care what the grade level is, if they're getting online and it's nothing but videos, red flag. That is a red flag, because they should not be watching videos all day long. I mean, who can do the torture, And then even being careful with the activities that they watch. Now, as I do like Ed Puzzle. Khan Academy is good, but like I say, I never choose a video that's more than 5 minutes long. But Ed Puzzle is good. You can use Ed Puzzle as an activity because you can add questions into the video. You can add 5 questions to a 5 or 6 minute video. And if someone else created the Ed Puzzle on that app, it's open to the public. So you can even do a voiceover.
I've done that.
Of someone else's video voice that's communicating with the students. Absolutely. Girl, listen, we don't reinvent the wheel, do we? The new teachers. So be mindful. They should not be subjects to videos. Okay, what about grade? I got 2 more. What about grading? What is grading going to look like? Is it, since it's virtual? And have you heard anything about state exams?
I have heard about state exams. Although they were going to do away with check-ins, remember check-ins that last year was supposed to be the last year? They're going to still have North Carolina check-ins. And right now, the education is pushing for us to have EOCs. So this year will count. So we have to treat it like real school because we're going to be tested and the grades are going to actually matter this time, if that makes sense.
Hey, Auntie Mama. Yeah, that's that. And I absolutely do not think that that's fair for them to not count it last year and this year. Because think about it. Last year we ended in March. All of those 8th graders coming into 9th grade, they had the same options that my students had to not do the work. So how many of them, work from March until June? You know what I mean? And the new policy is, one of the new policies, do not teach just in case. Don't teach just in case. In other words, don't teach fractions just in case the students didn't get fractions. If you're teaching slope, teach the purpose of a fraction in slope. It's just right. Don't go back and teach a whole lesson on fractions just in case they didn't get it. Because that's not what this lesson is about. So go ahead. You want to comment?
Yeah, because I'm on the fence about that because I already teach kids that are below grade level and now we've let them get farther behind. So as a teacher, I have to teach in mind with, hey, they were already behind and we let them get farther behind. So although just in case they may not have got the skill, I think I'm big on spiral review and making sure that I do it maybe through warm-ups or something like that because I feel like I don't want to teach, like I can't teach up to here and you're down here. I got to meet you in the middle. So I got to do some scaffolding. So if you don't know fractions, we're going to scaffold the fractions in so you can get today's topic. I'm going to teach you about what's 8th grade math, but if you don't know 5th grade math, ain't no need me up here teaching in the clouds. I realize my audience. I always realize my audience and what they may have a lack of.
And I really, and I'm going to put you in my category. I think a lot of that concept is old school versus new school. Because the educational argument and struggle and fight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you have students who are below, that's why they show growth so well because they've spent so much time. They didn't reach the goal for that grade level, but they showed a tremendous they spent time helping the child catch up as much as possible. If the kid is 2 or 3 years behind, then there's no way that they're going to be able. If I'm trying to teach you about exponential functions and you're putting 2 times 3 in the calculator, the struggle is real. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when I'm teaching kids and they're 5 plus. I was like, put that calculator down. We don't need it for that. You know what I mean? We need it for the higher level thinking. You know what I mean? 2 times now. But it's just an age old argument, and it's going to continue. But I feel like the younger people and the younger are really stuck on, look, we don't have time to go back. All you old heads, y'all spending time going back teaching all this old stuff, and the kids that they're supposed to learn, and so our scores are not going up. Well, your scores are not going to go up anyway because they don't know.
Like,
Period. So
I think for me, like I like what you said about, because you have to address meet them where they are, but I also understand the new concept of they have to be exposed to the new. So I think it has to be a mixed medium of, I'm exposing you to the new, but I'm also addressing where you are. So I may talk to you about slope because that's what we're supposed to talk about today, but I also got to address that you don't understand the concept of the fraction. So I'm exposing the whole class to the new material, so those that are able to grasp it can grasp it, but I'm also small grouping with that group that, hey, I don't care what I teach, you ain't gonna know. So I'm gonna expose you, but then I'm gonna go back and teach you on your own level. You
yeah,
know
it's
there's a
very
group.
difficult, and it's very difficult choices to make. Choices to make. It really is. And so, but what I do like and what I have seen is when you students who really want to learn, who it's not their fault that they had a bad teacher, or the teacher was absent a lot. When you have a student that really wants to learn, and you spend some extra time with that student, with tutoring that student, with a caring student where math comes easily to them, that student who really wants to latch on, I've seen it time and time again, they will pick things up. I mean, it's typical. It's science. It's assimilation stuff up really quick. You know what I mean? And they will get it, and they will learn from their peers so
Mhm.
easily. I will pair a determined low student with a caring high student in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? In a heartbeat,
That's like a match made in heaven.
I will do that because I know bring higher level students. Yeah, they will look out for them. They will look out for them and help them until they get it. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to see. So yeah. Oh, thank y'all so much for coming in a little. This is the last thing that I'm going to address. We talked about, but we did talk a little bit. Did we talk about grading?
Hmm.
What will the grading look like? Your grading standard still the same?
It
Okay.
is, but it
Ours
is,
is
but it
pretty
ain't.
much the same. I know last year. I agree. I agree. It was a little different, and we'll come back to that. So the last part is, are you guys doing? And North Carolina loves acronyms. Are y'all doing SEL, social emotional learning?
Yes.
Is that are y'all doing that?
Hmm.
And Blessed
We
Bro, you're in South Carolina. Are y'all doing social emotional learning? Go ahead.
um we are doing the we started that at the end of last year. We had started because we had to grade on our portfolios. We had to give them a grade on their social economics, not social economics, social emotional thing. But we hadn't had a program in place. But now they have like a few programs in place.
Hey, my
They're
guys,
gonna
how
do
are
it through
you?
their specials and electives.
Okay. Have you taught it?
I teach math, baby. I don't know about that.
Emotional learning?
I've never done this before. I teach math.
slid it in. Everyone who has a homeroom, they slid it in. Everyone who has a homeroom will be teaching social emotional learning. Okay. And so this is the thing, Lord, I got to be careful what I say. But anyway, they are teaching. We do have to teach social emotional learning, and and so they're putting it out there and to run with it. And we're still waiting to see what that means, what that looks like. And amongst the many I watched this week, it won't roll out until August the 24th.
Okay.
We'll begin then, but the curriculum itself will not be chosen until October. Anyone is welcome to join the curriculum, but to help choose a curriculum, but the curriculum will not be chosen until October. So we're just going to get some topics to talk about and pretty much, and that's okay. We've tried this on a different level before. You know,
Can I
we'll
ask a
see what
question?
happens. I think right now it's good and it's important. Absolutely.
Um, every time I've tried these programs, my minister hat comes out, and I'm more a minister than I am a teacher in those kind of settings because you find out so much about them that I want to give them Jesus. Like this is why y'all may let me need to stick to math because I'm like, you find so much of the needs and the things that they need, and I will like if you would know God, this would help. So I was like, I don't know if y'all need me to do this social emotional learning because when I find out their struggles, I want to tell them you need to know Jesus. As a preacher, do you feel like you have to like wear
Oh,
different hats
I
in that
don't
moment?
disagree with you. Absolute with you 100%, because when different topics come out, and once the students feel topics do come out, honey, and when the topics come out, you are pressed because you want the kids to, but you still have to maintain professionalism. You have to refrain from opinions. You got to be ever so kids are sponges. They absorb everything you say,
And magnify it.
especially if they are sponges. And you don't know how many times I done had somebody say, Miss Parsons said, Miss Parsons Hill said, you don't know how many times I done had people say that I said something, No, you can get in trouble. You gotta be very, very careful. The last one that I recall, I tried to do a book because I figured the book would help them. And even in that, the book, what it meant to be bullied. I think we read like The Chocolate War.
Oh, okay.
I love it, The Chocolate War, but it would help them, to see. But child, look, the book had a couple curse words in it, and I was like, it's on literary list for high school. Like I can't win. Mr. Fifi said, it'll keep them from being confused. But yeah, but at the point where you have to maintain separation, you understand what I'm saying? Because kids know a lot. They know their rights. They know, they are their own advocates. They know rules. They know a lot of stuff, and they will call you on the carpet in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, they will call you on the carpet. You know. Oh, thank you, Sister Fida. Thanks for being such a. So you do have to pray. You do have to ask for guidance, and you do have to know what to say. Sometimes you can even say something in jest. Like you know, you could say something right, or Jesus take the wheel. You could say anything, and a kid can take it and turn it around. Or if they
Mm-hmm.
get mad at you because they failed the test, they could tell their mamas, and the mamas would be like, you talking about Jesus in the classroom? Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
I used to play gospel music all the time. When I first began teaching, I used to play gospel music all the time. I would play it on test days. I would play it all the time until I want to say my last year in Georgia. I got a young lady who, I guess the atheist is the word. So I had played gospel. I've been teaching 11 years. I played gospel all the time until last year I got in trouble for gospel. I was like, wait a minute, I've been playing gospel. Like kids will remember, hey, Miss Ferguson, don't forget to play the gospel before our test. They would all be ready for it. But the one girl, well, 2 years ago, was, I don't like it when she plays gospel. It distracts me from taking my test. So now we still play gospel. We play gospel with no music. So those who, with no lyrics. So those who know the gospel song be over there singing it in their mind, and all those other.
Yeah,
I said, I still play gospel. I just don't play words.
exactly.
I just got to be mindful of your audience.
Yes, I have done that. I have played. Yes, I have played all instrumental music, instrumental gospel, instrumental R&B, instrumental hip hop, whatever. I've played instrumental because like I say, it can backfire on you. Several, it can backfire on you. You have to be so careful. And I'm not afraid of the gospel of Jesus Christ, not in any way, shape, or form. Not afraid to talk about him, confess him, tell about him, and you just have to be mindful because you can't. I can talk about my experience, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't try to convert anybody, so to speak, on that platform. You know how that goes. And really, a lot of times, the majority of them, especially in Title I schools, come from church background,
Mm-hmm.
so they know. But it doesn't mean that they don't use any type of situation or circumstance and we sort of took a right turn, to get back at you or
Mm-hmm.
to get upset with you. But so I'm looking forward to no part. I really am, because this pandemic has caused a lot of social emotional issues with adults as well as children. Looking forward to it, and I do hope that they will open up, and I know they will. I absolutely know they will, because when we did the Zoom meetings, I don't know how your Zoom meetings were, but when I did those Zoom meetings, it was only about 5 or 6 kids in my Zoom at a time. But girl, they would just be like this. They would just be lingering. They would hate to leave, and I would be feeling so bad. I'm like, okay, you hate to leave, because they miss that social aspect of school.
One of the things that I'm going to do this year, and we did a lot of it last year,
Did
that
you have anything?
that last 5 minutes of class, we kind of let them talk to each other because they're not getting to see each other. So last year I had Google Meets, but in the last 5 minutes of my Google Meet, I would kind of be like, all right, guys, you got this 5 minutes to socialize. Keep it PC. I'm still here, but go ahead and converse or whatever. And that helped. They liked that. It was like, hey, you're the only teacher letting us talk. I was like, it's 5 minutes. Y'all can get this 5 minutes out, kind of get, because you don't get to see your friends. That's the only time you're getting to see them. And yeah, they could Zoom each other, but they're not going to set that up. They're in middle school, so they're not going to set that up. So it allowed them some talk time, and then I could always take it away. Like, hey, if y'all ain't doing what y'all supposed to do in this meeting, I'm gonna take the social time away. So it was good for me.
Mm-hmm. Down too, sis. Zoom time, social time. That's a great idea and a great. We also did. My principal. We did at the end of our meeting, and I'm going to do this with my students. We, how are you feeling? And just say one word. You couldn't say it. No, you couldn't say a phrase. You just could only say one word. And so
That's a
it
good
was
idea.
very interesting for teachers. And you got all kinds of words. Yeah, you got all kinds of words. You got angry, happy, worried. So I'm not going to keep you guys on here any longer. Let me see, Blessed Rose. Okay, let's see what Blessed Rose says. She said, we only did one Zoom meeting, and my son, oh, yeah, he's in kindergarten.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
He's her garden, yes. And they only did one Zoom meeting, and he was super excited and so happy to see everyone. Yeah, that's so important, really and truly. And just coming up with some great Zoom activities,
Mm-hmm.
virtual. So it's a lot to think about and a lot to do. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming in. I appreciate you, Miss, for helping me out tonight,
No
jumping
problem.
on. We want to do some other things together. I appreciate those who come in and listen afterwards. I hope you get people information. Our topics, which I'm going to be talking about even more. Should teachers go live daily? What will attendance look like? Should students be subject to watching online videos? What about grading? And what about social emotional learning? What are those things looking like? So I hope you got some nuggets from here. And even those of you who come back to watch it, stay blessed. Thank you so much. Auntie Mama, thank you so much for showing us anytime. I love you all. Thank you. And I'm on my way out the door. See you in the YouTube street. Bye, y'all. Bye bye. Thank you all again. I do appreciate you.